Jintao.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Now it's Xi's turn.
Yeah. This is going to be a long round, isn't it?
Well, 20,000 people lined them all to wave and cheer at Xi Jinping. Who were they?
I think 3 of them were Tibetan monks, and 19,997 were members of the Red Army in tracksuits, pretending to be ordinary Chinese people. I can't prove that. Welcome to another edition of I Can't Prove That.
Did you see where the flags and other pro-Xi Jinping merchandise came from?
Boxes that were handed out round the back door of the Chinese embassy, as far as we could tell.
It's all about image, really, in the end. And the fact that we are allowing the Chinese to run a nuclear power station in their country. We managed to get China to invest in this nuclear reactor, but we have to guarantee their investment. We have to guarantee the investment of the richest country in the entire world. So if you lose any money, we'll pay. That's not an investment. No. It's a bribe. There's nothing could go wrong there. No.
I think they're all right. They're already on Pizza Express and they haven't touched dough balls.
The whole exercise was just one long sucking up to the Chinese and not mentioning anything that could embarrass anyone.
They have. They've mentioned it carefully over dinner. If I invited Oscar Pistorius round for dinner this week, I don't think I get much credit for saying, I'll tell you what, I give him a withering look over the port and Stilton, I'll tell you that. Scotland came out of it pretty well. Laura Kuenssberg absolutely nailed the Chinese Premier to the wall, and we got
She absolutely nailed him to the wall?
Oh, that question was devastating. I mean, I don't think a press conference is one question, but what a question she asked. And, yeah, we got a £2 billion bus deal and we got to keep our pandas, so we did all right. Yeah.
Did they come for your pandas?
Well, nobody's taking our pandas. They're not very fertile, but we still love them.
But ineffectively.
Yeah. You don't really love each other.
I don't understand why, like, we've been showing off how rich we are, but then asking for money. I don't understand. Like, even he knows in China, there's some tact to pretending to be poor. So, like, he gets photographed in, like, a modest restaurant having dumplings. And then he gets here and we're flaunting. Like, he must have gone mad when he met the Queen. He was like, how are we getting for dinner? We're going to walk. She goes, we'll get pulled in a gold carriage. Oh, really? What do you want to talk about? You couldn't lend us £3 billion, could you?
It's a good thing it wasn't a steel carriage.
Yeah.
Bad taste to bring up the collapse of the British steel industry. Partly China's fault, really, for just dumping steel on us. All these new jobs that the Tory party say the Chinese investment's going to produce, I mean, we lost nearly that many this week in the steel industry.
The government haven't done anything. I get the horrible feeling that David Cameron's watched the full Monty. And he doesn't understand that that's not a viable option for everyone. I watched an incredible documentary about the steel industry this week.
How did Jeremy Corbyn express himself on British job losses and human rights to Xi Jinping?
They had a private meeting. There was a picture of them shaking hands. Have you got the pig? No.
Have I got the pig?
Well, you're not talking about the pig, the lucky pig. We stroke the lucky pig on the fourth show of every series. I'm not going on if we're not stroking the lucky pig.
Thought we were back to Cameron.
Not such a lucky pig.
The pick! Have I seen the pick?
Yeah, have I seen the pig? Sorry, it's my diction.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
When I'm not on with a proper actor, it all just goes.
Here they are.
Tell me about this communism. How does it work? Who's asking who?
Ooh, the camera loves Jeremy. Or at least he thinks it does. He's always staring back at it. Why are these people looking at me? What's the other terrible thing about President Xi that the Mirror discovered?
Were his trousers too long?
His trousers are touching the carpet.
Did you see the state of his cufflinks?
Steel.
Yeah.
Yes, the Mirror noticed that his trousers were touching the carpet. Way too long.
He's coming.
Is the name of his tailor. So, what were the Buckingham Palace staff forbidden to do while the Chinese delegation was staying there?
Stare at them. Stare at them. They weren't allowed to poke them with sticks.
They were not allowed to use Wi-Fi in case too much internet activity slowed down the broadband speed for the Chinese. So the Queen must have one of those crappy Virgin Media hubs. Now, Prince Charles managed to avoid the royal banquet and other formal business, but what job did Prince William have?
He had to be your royal lowness to the highest man in China, which is their basketball player. So there's always pictures of him being looked down on a man that's supposed to be one of the epitomes of Chinese sporting prowess.
It's all about status. But luckily we complied.
He was indeed lecturing the Chinese on the evils of the ivory trade, and he met a very tall man. What is sinister about Yao Ming, for it is he, according to the Mail?
The Mail said that he's not naturally tall, but he was bred in a super-secret Bond villain-esque genetic mutation programme to be somebody that could play basketball and look down on British royals.
Is that right?
According to the Mail. 7-foot-6-inch giant was specially bred to belittle the West and prove that the Chinese aren't all tiny. So this is the Chinese president's lavish state visit to Britain. The meal was served to musical accompaniment from the Countess of Wessex's string orchestra. It was either them or the Duchess of Kent's rhythm and blues explosion. Addressing the sensitive issue of human rights, the Chinese president declared, "We combine the universal value of human rights with Chinese reality and have found a path of human rights development suitable to China's conditions. A doctrine put forward by China's leading political philosopher, fuck you." Ian and John, take a look at this.
Pieces of paper.
Oh, the tax credits, don't mention them. And that's some protesters.
Someone who's never been to a funeral before and doesn't know you don't just write the name on the side of a box.
This is the tax credits, they put them through. The idea was that it was unfair to give people who are working tax credits their employers should pay and top it up. Now the bill's gone through, there's no mechanism for making the employers pay, so you're just taking away lots of money from the poorest section of society. And there's been a rebellion by all these sort of lefty Tories, which is the embarrassing thing. Because you'd expect the other side to be against them, but you'd rather hope your own side might be with you.
3 million low-paid families will lose an average of £1,300 per year. But what's Osborne's plan to make everyone feel a bit better about it?
He's going to resign. That figure actually comes from the body, the statistical body they set up to come up with independent figures that everyone could believe. The body comes up with that figure and they go, "Oh no, that's rubbish. I've got better figures here on this envelope."
He plans an increase in personal tax allowance and a higher national living wage.
You'd think if the living wage was the panacea that they claim it to be, that they wouldn't reprimand their own cleaning staff when they ask for it. That was a weird reaction, wasn't it?
That was a question time reaction.
Yeah. I might do a joke about Chinese name in a minute, Michael.
I'm disappointed that we missed that Wi-Fi. I thought it was not
Did Cameron say he wouldn't cut tax credits before the election?
Yeah, he did. But it's naive to imagine that he was going to stick to it.
Well, let's have a look.
Will you put to bed rumours that you plan to cut child tax credit and restrict child benefits to children?
Well, thank you, Jenny, for that question. No, I don't want to do that. This report that was out today is something I rejected at the time as Prime Minister, and I reject it again today.
Are you saying absolutely as a guarantee?
Child benefit,
never happen?
let's say, first of all, child tax credit, we increased by £450.
And it's not going to fall?
Not going to fall.
It's unclear, isn't it?
People don't really remember, though, what you promised before an election. They don't punish you for it. 'Cause I was speaking to an ice cream driver near me called Nick Clegg.
Ruth, you're a Conservative. Are you in favour of these cuts?
Do you know, we've got a lot of people back into work, and we want to make sure that they're not worse off for being in work, and that's what all of this has been about. And yeah, there's a lot of us that are very angry and want to see
So that's
this
a yes.
working.
Do you think George Osborne's going to do a U-turn?
Well, I would like to see some movement by the autumn
What
statement.
movement round?
Well, something else you've said on the record in the past is how important it is to stick to the economic plan.
It's not undoing all of the hard work of the last 5 years. It is the stability that's got our country back on track that's allowed us to grow faster than this over the past 5 years.
How's that been going? One good thing did come out of the debate. 2 of the sexiest new Tory MPs finally got a bit of airtime. Who was that?
Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Heidi Allen is going to be a firm favourite for a long time to come.
Indeed, Heidi Allen.
She looks like a 1980s ballad singer there with the wind machine through the flowing locks.
Has she hired a wind machine for that shot? She must have done.
Just listening to the Chancellor.
And the other one is Johnny Mercer.
He was in the army, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, those are army trousers, aren't they? Camouflage trousers, they'll be quite difficult to see at first.
Was he not in a shower gel advert or something like that.
I believe it was a Dove soap
Was it?
commercial.
Well, there's some speculation about him advertising for an assistant for his parliamentary office because dozens and dozens of women applied, having seen the pictures of him lathering himself up in a shower gel commercial. And his wife stepped in and he had to hire a male assistant, apparently, because she was so worried about it.
That's never caused a problem for the Tories.
Don't stop any scandal out, Will.
It's better off this way, love, and then we can share a hotel room.
Well, Labour have had their own problems this week. What did we learn about Jeremy Corbyn's political advisor, Andrew Fisher?
He tweets a lot of rather bad-tempered stuff about members of the Labour Party.
Yes.
It's been revealed that last year he described the Labour front bench as the most abject collection of absolute shite. He described Jack Straw as a vile git.
You can see everyone's warming to him.
And Tony Blair as a scumbag for hire. Can anyone do an impersonation of Tony Blair?
No.
Corbyn's ally and former lover, Diane Abbott, is apparently being sidelined. Why is that?
Is it because she's not very good? And she says mad things on the Today programme and then laughs a lot.
According to the Sunday Times, senior Labour Party sources say it's because of her completely fucking mad behaviour. So this is the tax credit cuts, or as the rest of the Tory party call them, George Osborne's tax credit cuts. One Tory MP spoke out and warned that the measures would hit the most vulnerable, leaving them with a choice of eating or heating, which instantly set off an alarm in the ITV game show office. And so, to round two, the strengthometer of news. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here's the first one. So this is the news that the Scots...
hang on.
I butted this up in rehearsal as well. I'm so sorry.
We should answer it first before you do.
Yes. And someone buzzed in, didn't they?
Yeah, Ian did.
Right. Shall I just say that it's over to you? Because you buzzed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's do this properly.
Yes. Now, this is acting. Watch me.
Yes, Ian and John.
I think John had the answer.
It's Craig Joubert, isn't it, who broke Scottish hearts this week. He made a mistake, and now we're all out of the World Cup, but we have to carry on hosting it like good hosts. I think we should just pack up the stadiums and tell them to have it on their own half of the planet.
That's the most churlish round of applause I've ever heard.
Yes, this is the news that the Scots clinched defeat from the jaws of victory for the second time in the last year.
The South African referee Craig Joubert, who gave a last-minute penalty to Australia, at the end of the game, he sprinted from the centre of the pitch, and people said that was a terribly bad thing. And his pal came out and said he was only running because he really needed the loo. And I tell you what, if I had 40,000 Scots in Twickenham shouting at me, I'd be crapping it as well. So I'm not surprised he went to the loo.
So, Ruth, everyone makes mistakes. Is all forgiven?
Yes, as long as he never referees for us again.
Well, this is what you tweeted after the game. You are kidding me. Sick. But what a shift from Scotland. Bloody heroes all. Were you a bit tipsy when you sent that tweet?
My partner is Irish, and the Ireland game was on directly before the Scotland game, so we may have been enjoying a convivial atmosphere in Edinburgh's finest wining and dining establishments for 7 hours by the time that tweet was sent. Yes!
And to be fair, you were probably still rat-arsed from when England went out the week before.
Any other tweets you may have regretted? Ruth said of kicker, Greg Laidlaw, I think I love Greg Laidlaw, in a way that we both find uncomfortable. Wow, that would be quite a conversion.
There were a lot of people that tweeted back, especially heterosexual married men, that said they felt the same.
Are we back to nailing people against the wall?
Are you asking?
Should the rest of us just discreetly leave at this point? Oh, is that the time?
We're off.
In other sports news, Slovakian football team TJ Tatra Chieni Balog have to put up with this unexpected sight at matches.
Now, you see, if it was like that, I would go to football. If there were more steam trains going up and down. Yeah, absolutely.
This is Scotland's heartbreaking exit from the Rugby World Cup. According to the Mail, the South African official, Craig Joubert, was labelled a disgrace after he sprinted down the tunnel. Still, it's not the worst thing a South African sprinter's done. Fingers on buzzers, teams. Here's the next one.
What the... What is it?
It's a ghostly apparition.
Is it a ghostly apparition?
Is it a ghostly apparition?
Is this Alex Salmond? He believes in ghosts.
Nope.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
Not yet.
Oh, I see. Is that a clue?
A sexy ghost. It's a busty ghost who lives in a museum. It's a new show for CBBC. It's called Spooky Booby Lady.
Yes, this is the discovery of Britain's sexiest ghost, who has left her fingerprints on an Egyptian mummy's coffin in Torquay.
The Egyptian Empire spread a bit, didn't it? Not as far as Torquay.
According to the Mirror,
Yes.
she has yellow locks and shows off her cleavage. And according to the Daily Star, she has huge boobs. Were these fingerprints on the mummy's coffin definitely the sexy ghost?
No, because there are no ghosts.
Well, apparently so. And according to the museum manager, the case had not been opened for 7 years, and the last time it was opened, it took 7 men to open it. So it was impossible for it to be opened by someone else.
Oh my God. It's the ghost of a woman with 7 men. It's Snow White.
Staying on the subject
Yeah,
of
yes,
the
let's.
paranormal,
Yeah.
who else recently revealed that they had seen a ghost?
The sexy leader.
Fox and Malik Salmons.
Yes, it was Alex Salmond. He told reporters, I have seen a photo, which I know is not forged or created, that will give anyone serious thought about these things.
The man currently on a train to Devon. Hello there. Would you like to see my SN penis?
So this is the apparition in a Torquay museum that's been dubbed Britain's sexiest ghost. The museum manager claimed the haunted exhibit is Devon's only human mummy. And having seen some of the mums in Plymouth, I think he might be right. Time now for the odd one out round. Your 4 are Michael Flatley, Betty the Chicken, 2/3 of Americans, and Ruth Davidson, MSP.
It's something about Twitter. There was a newspaper story saying 2/3 of Americans are on Twitter or read Twitter or have it in the tap. And you're on it.
There's a chicken shop in Australia that's got a chicken to tweet. I don't know how they do it, but I think her name's Betty.
That means Flatley is the odd one out. Because he can't tweet, so he can't use his hands, can he? Is it about Twitter or am I going completely wrong?
Ruth got the Betty the Chicken bit of it right, but everything else you've got pretty wrong so far.
Michael Flatley's on Twitter, isn't he?
I'll say it again, it's not about Twitter. What would most people usually use on a keyboard?
A mouse.
Antibacterial wipes.
None of them use their hands for the activity they're known for.
They all do things with their feet
Yeah.
that you'd normally do with your hands. Apart from Betty the Chicken, who does something you'd normally do with your hands with a beak. Betty the Chicken has been employed by Australian fast food chain Chicken Treat to run their Twitter account using her beak to type.
What do you mean she's been employed?